Day 3 in Key West. You know you come down here on motorcycles. Wind in your hair, freedom on the open road, and somehow our itinerary took a turn. This morning, snorkeling, which was actually pretty awesome, I gotta admit, but tonight was something else. 4 hardcore motorcycle dudes on a sunset dinner cruise. Yeah, you heard that right. Romantic, they said. Don't even try to tell me you're not picturing it. Just watch the video. Hey, how you doing? This is Bronx Brothers Motorcycles and my name is Richie. If this is your first time here, I'm glad you're here. For those who are returning, glad you're back. Anyhow, on today's video, we're gonna do something a little bit different. We're gonna go snorkeling. Had to get up early to make the boat ride. Later that evening, after we took a nap, a must for old guys like us, we went on a sunset dinner cruise. Had a great time. Then the next day we had to hit the road. We had some good times. Let's get on with the video so you can see what happens. Thank you, brother. Try that on. They come off.
No, this is 12-13. Yeah, 11-12, but that's okay.
I told them 11-12.
That's all they had there. Oh, yeah. Yo, no.
I mean, they come off, you're gonna have to come get another one. Go,
Yes, please.
go switch them, Ralph. Go try it on at least.
All right, I'll do that.
All right, welcome to the reef. Like I said, we're not on the Atlantic side. This is the Gulf side, and this spot is really nice. This is one of my favorite spots out here. The name of this area is Cottrell. This is Cottrell Key. It's a mangrove island. It's part of the National Marine Sanctuary. No, you cannot swim to the island. But what you guys are gonna do, there are 2 ways that you can get off the boat. You can go down these steps. That's the easy way in. If you have never snorkeled before, if you're not a strong swimmer, I highly suggest that you go in that way. If you're a little more experienced and you're ready to get in, you can jump right off this gate. Those are the 2 ways that you can get off the boat. There is only one way that you can get back on the boat, and it is not this stairway. You will not be coming up these steps. You're going to go to the back of the boat. On this side, there's a nice little step back there. You can just hoist yourself up, take off your fins. That's where you get on the boat. This is where you get off the boat. And then once you get off the boat, what you want to do is you want to be right here. Okay? Don't go in any other direction. This reef system runs left or right this way. Right? So you just want to be right off this front corner. You can see that boat is also tied up. The reef is in front of them as well. Pay attention to what boat you're on. We're red. Sunsets are red. You're with sunset. Okay, that is not the case. I put you right on top of the best part of the reef on purpose, so you don't have to go very far. So you're going to be right off the front corner of the boat. You'll know when you're there because you'll see it. You can work your way a little bit left and right. If you go too far in this direction, there's a mud flat. Okay, you can kind of see there's a little bit of a brown line. That is a mud flat. There's nothing to see there. It's only about this deep. If you find yourself there, you've gone too far. Turn around, come back towards the boat, and you'll be right back on top of the reef. So again, right in front of the boat, work your way left and right. If you feel some current, it looks like there might be a little bit of current. I can't quite tell yet, but if you feel some current, do not swim with the current away from the boat, because then when you're tired, you're going to have to turn around and fight that current to get back to the boat. So be aware of that. I think that's all I have to say. If you need any help, please let us know. You have about an hour here. Pool is open.
Take advantage.
Where's the warm spot?
You have to create that, if you know what I mean.
I do. My body is acclimated to it, getting acclimated. So this is the coral reef. Now I've been to a few Caribbean islands where I've snorkeled. Tortola, Puerto Rico, and the reefs over there are a lot more vibrant than these. These, I guess, are, I don't know, overpopulate. I don't know what's wrong. I know that they're dying slowly but surely, which is a shame. The other coral reefs that I've seen are very, very colorful. Now, I will say that the camera does not do it justice. These are colorful and very cool to look at. If you didn't know, fish love reefs, so they like to hang around the reefs and just, I guess that's where they get their food and all. If you want to see a lot of tropical fish, you snorkel by the reefs. I'm about to encounter a jellyfish here. You see it there on the right, coming to the center of the screen. So I didn't see it right away, but all of a sudden I hightailed out of there. That's not something you want to get stung by. In what's called the lower 49, in other words, the 49 states of the continental United States, Florida is the only place where you'll be able to see reefs. Now there are other territories, such as Puerto Rico, the U.S. Virgin Islands, Hawaii, which is a state, Guam, American Samoa, and the Commonwealth of the Northern Mariana Islands. So I think that something that doesn't help is that my camera just doesn't capture the vibrant colors of the reef like a professional underwater photographer or videographer would. So you just have to imagine this a little bit more spectacular than what the camera is showing. I'll tell you, because in person it was amazing to see, and then when I watch it on video, I'm like, what happened? It lost a lot of the color. So these corals are on the Gulf side of Key West, but Florida also has many coral reefs on the Atlantic side. So after we went snorkeling, we went over to Duval Street, had a good lobster roll, did a little walking around, shopped for some t-shirts, then came back to the pad and took a good nap. Got up, did a few things, and then it's time to head out to our sunset cruise. Now I've had a few people tell me that they really like this house we were at, and most of all like the parking under the house to store the bikes. If you go on a website, Vrbo, V-R-B-O, there's an island called Stock Island. It butts up to Key West. It's pretty much part of Key West. Anyhow, that's where these houses are at. You can find them. Now, if you've watched my other videos on planning a trip for Daytona Beach Bike Week, I explain in detail when we rent these houses, and that's early autumn. So about September, October, we're already planning and renting these houses, because as time approaches, these houses go quick and the prices shoot up. It's to your benefit to talk to your friends, figure this out, and rent the house early on. That's when you're going to get the best selection and the best price.
Is our record. So if you think you're going to go further than 8.5 feet tonight, let me know. I want to take a picture, put it on our Facebook page. We'll make you Facebook famous this evening. Couple of things about the boat. This is a non-swimming excursion. Look around you. All these pretty faces. There's no bathing suits on this boat, right? I said this the other day. The swimming pool, they dressed up. I got a bathing suit on. No one is swimming this evening. That's called man, woman, man overboard. If you see somebody overboard, I need you to do me a favor. You need to point to them and say, hey, man overboard, woman overboard. Keep an eye on them until we tap you out and say, hey, we got this. We got these big hooks. We'll pull them aboard. We got all these life rings. We just practiced this last week, so we're experts at it. Trust me, we'll get you on board and we will make fun of you for a while, but we will save your life this evening. Black smoke. Black smoke on a boat is not a good thing. That usually means a fire. If you see black smoke, we're going to be busy this evening. There's like 90-something people on this boat. Thank you all.
Well, the unfortunate thing is that, as you can imagine, and you probably heard a little bit of it, is that they are blasting copyrighted music. So I can't use any of the audio. But I can explain to you what was going down. It was a fun vibe on this cruise. It was all couples, or mostly couples, adults. At first we just sat around and conversed with each other. And then later on, when we went downstairs and kind of found our niche, we started conversing with those around us. We had a nice little group around us, and we were all talking about where we're from. As you can imagine, everybody's from different parts of the country. There were people from Ohio. One of the topics that came up was the fact that most of the country this year got snow, including Florida. So one of the couples that we were sitting next to, the wife said, It was good to see the whole country, or at least parts that don't normally get snow, get hit this year with some snow. Something that we get constantly and we're sick of. There's actually this lady in blue right here. The front of the boat is for smokers, and the guys were lighting up cigars. So everybody here became acquainted, and we had a good time getting back to shore. The best laugh was, if you look at the other side of the boat there, the lady with the white blouse and the shades on, well, she was holding a fork in her hand as we were walking through the buffet picking our food, and she also had the plate in her hand. My nephew Jay, the guy with the tattoos, anyhow, he was standing next to her and she poked him with the fork. So from that one event, I want to say at least 10 jokes came out of that. So everybody sitting in the front part of the boat here, we all were laughing. It was just, you had to be there kind of thing. It was pretty funny. We just want you to get a feel of what it's like to ride through the Keys. We want you to see the views, the bikes, You can pretty much tell we're enjoying the ride. The views as you ride through the Keys are like nothing else. I mean, these are tropical islands. This is a unique place of the United States that you have to experience it for yourself. So if this is not on your bucket list, make sure you put it on there and make it happen. Finally made it out of Key West. Been a windy ride, breezy, I would say windy, and cool. I had to stop and put a sweatshirt on, but we're gonna stop and get some Sonny's barbecue. So let's see what that's like. And my nephew, as always, he's got a special diet, so he's gonna go to the geriatrics store. See what we got in here. Oh man. Well, since there is copyrighted music, I'm gonna go ahead and tell you what went down at the restaurant. The food was delicious. I know barbecue, and this barbecue was good. It was tender, it was flavorful. It had that smoky flavor you want. The barbecue sauce was good. Everybody enjoyed their meal. Now, just across the way, the guy's not there yet, but the table right in front of me there's going to come a guy, and he's actually a German guy from Germany. And he was telling us that he comes twice a year to the United States to ride. He's here for Bike Week. This is during Bike Week. He comes in the summertime and rides out to Sturgis. He stores his bike in Georgia, and his destination today was Key West. So he came down from Daytona, this is Florida City, and is going to make his way to Key West. And I thought that was extra cool. So he has a bike that he bought in the United States. He puts it in a storage unit, and then he comes twice a year, and he just rides. Now that's making your dreams come true. The guy says it's not easy. He has a family. His wife does let him go out twice a year to the United States. He comes for about a week and a half, and he's living his dream. That's his bucket list items, to ride all over the states. Now I would like to add, he did say one of his complaints was that the storage unit is a bit pricey. What kind of bike does he have? He has a BMW GS that he purchased in the United States, and he keeps it in Georgia. Now there's another YouTuber who has a channel called Got to Go. This lady is German, and she does pretty much the same thing. She has a bike here in the United States. She lives in Germany. She comes down, and she does a portion of the United States. You have to admit, here in America, we have some great roads and great places that the world wants to see. Consider yourself fortunate if you live in the United States. Now, I would like to add, for those of you that live in the United States and maybe there's a certain place you want to ride to, but it is out of reach. It is just too far. We went to California 2-3 years ago. We did not ride out there. We flew out there. We rented from a website called Riders Share. And it's people, individuals who rent out their bikes. And we had a great experience. Is it pricey? Yeah, I want to say it's anywhere from $60 to $100 a day. It depends what bike you choose. Some cities have more bike selection than others, but the more populated cities have a good variety of bikes, sometimes even 100 bikes to choose from. We started out in San Francisco, and in that area there was a lot of bikes to pick. So it was worth it. It was a bucket list item, something that we wanted to do. We did it, we saved up for it, and we're happy we did it. So anything is possible. Of course, money can be an obstacle, but you can save up if it takes you a couple of years, whatever it takes. You need to get an airfare and you need to rent a bike, and of course you need a place to stay. I know a lot of people are into camping and saving money that way. As an older guy, that's not me. I would not be able to put in the amount of miles that I do if I had to camp. Okay, so we're gonna go in here and drink something. We tired. Been on the road since 10. It is almost 5. So, time to take a little break. Last time I drank a Dunkin' Donuts. I might have a little coffee.
Tell them the light brew, so it's not so acidic.
What are you gonna drink?
I guess I put it in the refrigerator. I'm gonna use the bathroom first. I gotta make room.
Okay.
What are you gonna drink?
I'm gonna take a nap.
Yeah?
What did we get last year? Dunkin' Donuts, no?
Yeah, but we came late. Remember last year was already dark by the time we got here.
Yeah. But we could have a milkshake.
Burger King.
Does it have sugar in it?
Yes.
Okay.
Thank you.
Thank you. Yeah, this is good. Don't need that. This is good.
That damn rooster, bro.
Yeah, that freaking rooster, bro.
What, you guys sleep with the window open?
Listen,
No.
on
You don't hear
Tuesday,
it?
Yo, that rooster's rabid, bro.
on Tuesday, the guy next door was throwing rocks at the rooster, and I'm like, why is he throwing rocks at the rooster?
Who?
You guys too.
Yeah.
I wasn't not gonna throw no rocks at him. I'm gonna complain about it, but I won't throw
I
rocks
wouldn't
at
throw
him.
rocks at a rooster.
I think they're beautiful roosters.
But it made sense. It made sense.
But you ain't gonna do that.
I'm not gonna do it, but it made sense why he was doing it. I figured it out.
So that's
Right.
the way money comes.
Yeah.
We got one more stop after this. Fort Pierce. ¿Quiere darse una vuelta, señora? Tenga la llave. So, kidding around, I just asked this lady if she wants to take my bike for a ride. I said, here's the key, and she chuckled. Said, nice bike. Nice Christian ladies, they're just sharing the word. 44 minutes. Well, my people, we've come to the end of the video, but don't leave just yet because I have a big surprise for you guys. Well, let me just let the cat out of the bag. Let me just say that one of these bikes is not going home. Anyhow, I hope that you enjoyed this video. I hope that it motivated you to jump on your bike and go for a ride, that you plan your bucket list and do what's in your heart. If you haven't yet subscribed, I urge you to please consider doing so. These are the types of videos I put out. I do touring, tutorials, gear review, product review. Heck, I just built a complete bike, the white Cholo style or Vicla, whatever you call it, that you saw my nephew riding. I built that in 2 months, complete teardown. The only thing left on the bike was the engine and transmission. I really appreciate it if you give this video a like. And with that, you all take care. Watch out with the crazy people on the roads. And I will catch you on the next one. Adios.